Level 1. Junior Sergeant. You no longer feel the weight of your mud-soaked boots because your feet went numb a long time ago. It is 3 in the morning, the temperature has dropped well below -10 degrees, and under a freezing downpour in rugged mountain terrain, you press forward toward your assigned coordinates carrying 40 kilograms of gear, your M4A1 carbine, and full combat kit. With every breath, your lungs burn as if inhaling shattered glass, and your blister-torn heels bleed into the lining of your boots with every single step. Yet stopping is not an option. You are at the lowest rung of the Special Operations Forces. Individual identity does not exist here, only absolute discipline and unyielding willpower. At level 1, you exist amid shrapnel fragments, the pungent stench of gun oil, and endless physical torment. Every command roared into your ear by the drill instructor systematically destroys the ego, pride, and vulnerabilities you carried from civilian life. Here you learn only to obey, to remain silent, and to force your mind to command, keep going. The exact moment your body screams, stop. Peering through the green hazy glow of your night vision goggles, NVG, you realize you are no longer an ordinary human being. You are a living weapon forged for missions executed in the darkest corners of the state. Your personal life disintegrates. Friends have no idea where you are or what you do, and your family hears your voice change with every rare phone call. Each night upon returning to the barracks, as you clean your weapon and stare at the black carbon residue stained into your fingers, you realize there is no turning back. Your life is now measured in split seconds. The millimeter precision of close-quarters battle, CQB tactics, and the silent obedience that comes with carrying the heavy burden of being unranked. Level 3, Assistant Team Leader. The heavy shadow of experience and rank now rests squarely on your shoulders. You're no longer responsible solely for your own physical pain. You hold the lives of the young soldiers marching alongside you, whose eyes reflect both raw fear and infinite trust. Positioned in an ambush point deep within a dense forest, 15 kilometers behind enemy lines in a silent operational zone, the humidity of the air and the sharp sense of wet pine bark and damp earth fill your senses. The earpiece of your PR C152 radio carries nothing but static and brief encrypted signals. At level 3, your role has transformed. You are simultaneously a lethal operative and a tactical mind. During mission planning, you must memorize every topographic contour line and every potential cover point on the map. You have zero room for error. A single second of inattention from you means a brother returning home in a flag-draped coffin. This is where the dark side of success reveals itself. You become mentally desensitized. You have witnessed firsthand how fragile human life is, and how a single 7.62 millimeter round can instantly extinguish a lifetime of dreams. When you return home and sit beside your family, your soul remains trapped in that freezing trench. While your relatives discuss mundane topics, money, cars, daily trivialities, you silently scan the room, mapping exit routes and calculating potential threat angles. You become alienated from society. Discipline is no longer a set of forced rules. It is your sole survival mechanism. As the anchor for your team leader, you must serve as both a ruthless mentor and a protective shield for the juniors beneath you, mastering the art of concealing your emotions behind an impenetrable armor. Level 6, Special Forces Team Commander, the weight of blood and decisions. You are now in the position of command. The insignia on your shoulders grants authority, but that authority presses down on your conscience with tons of weight every single day. Inside the Tactical Operations Center, TOC, you sit surrounded by live satellite feeds and thermal imaging displays. A single go, order, or engage directive from you decides the fate of real human beings within seconds. At level 6, You face the cold, mathematical, and unforgiving reality of warfare. You listen to the panicked, breathless voices of your own squad surrounded on a fog-shrouded mountain peak through the radio receiver. As you key in coordinates to request close air support, CAS, your hands cannot afford to shake. The impact zone of the ordnance lies merely 50 meters from your men's positions. Success here is not marked by medals or commendations. Success is keeping casualties to a minimum, though that number is never zero. When you try to sleep at night, it is not the sound of gunfire that echoes in your ears, but the final words spoken by fallen teammates in their last moments. Insomnia, chronic stress, physical exhaustion, and a deep internal void become your constant companions. Stripping off your uniform in front of the mirror, you stare at shrapnel scars and premature lines etched across your face. You are no longer just fighting. You are playing a high-stakes game of chess where the pieces are living people. Your level of discipline has hardened into absolute detachment. You have completely shut off your emotions because allowing room for feeling means defeat. Your personal life has long since fractured or collapsed into a mere formality. Your loyalty belongs entirely to the Brotherhood of Arms and the sacred, heavy oath you swore to your nation. Level 10. Training and Operations Commander. Legacy and Eternal Shadow. Years have passed. Your body carries the cumulative toll of dozens of combat deployments, mended bones, permanent injuries, and countless middle-of-the-night emergency roll calls. The rank insignia on your dress uniform and the decorations pinned to your chest serve as silent witnesses to past bloodshed and sacrifice. You are at level 10, at the pinnacle of the profession, a seasoned expert, a living legend who has seen everything, lost everything, and understood everything. You no longer ride into combat. Instead, you dispatch units into action, draft overarching strategies, and author the tactical doctrine for the military's future Special Forces Corps. Yet this ultimate peak of success is perhaps the darkest, most solitary place of all. You march at the very front of victory parades, but no amount of applause can fill the hollow space inside you. You are a surviving shadow. Most of the brothers who began this journey alongside you now lie beneath the soil, leaving you to live every day with the haunting question, why was I the one spared? Discipline is so deeply encoded into your DNA that the comfort of civilian life feels alien, almost terrifying. To you, peace is nothing more than a temporary lull before the next storm. And then comes that exact moment. On a rainy autumn morning at the base training grounds, you stand silently behind the window of your office, looking down at the courtyard. Rain washes through the mud as a cold wind whips the flag against its pole. Through the main gates steps a young, inexperienced recruit carrying a heavy rucksack over his shoulders. Hesitation marks his footsteps, but his eyes hold a fiery mix of fear and intense determination, an unyielding drive to prove himself. He struggles to stand straight in the biting cold, his body shivering under the harsh shouts of the drill instructor. As you watch him, time instantly rewinds. In that young recruit, you see your own reflection, your younger self at level 1 years ago, standing in the very same mud, embarking on the same path filled with terror and hope. For a split second, your eyes lock through the glass. The young soldier catches sight of the legendary stern commander standing at the window and unconsciously straightens his spine. You do not smile, and the hard lines on your face do not soften, but deep within, you feel a profound sense of quiet relief. You realize that while you will eventually pass on, your body will age, and your name may remain buried in classified archives. This spirit, this discipline, and this willingness to sacrifice will never die. The blood you spilled, the agony you endured, and the youth you surrendered will live on through the veins of this new generation. The warrior changes, but the shadow remains forever.